Busch, Craven, nose to tail.
They are dead even coming down to the line. This is going to be close.
They touch. Craven got him. What a finish.
Take it to the edge and back. Test the limits of man and machine.
Gordon got loose in Harvick.
Get ready for NASCAR Thrills.
One-on-one contact, you know when the line's been crossed.
All you see is ground, sky, ground, sky, ground, sky.
One lap to go. And there goes Darrell Waltrip for the lead.
Oh, look at that. See on the flat on the last lap.
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall. Petty is sliding, slamming in the wall.
I'm a loser. I'm a winner. I'm the sideline who's to say. I'm the master. I'm the favorite. I'm the left out. Run away.
Cale hits him. He slides. Donnie Allison slides. There's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. They know they have lost.
It's a good time. It's the white line. I'm the only one to blame. It's a sickness. You forget this. You'll be left here. It's the only thing today. What a chance you did take today. It's the madness your drive creates. What a chance you did waste today.
Over on its roof is Brian Newman in the tri-oval grass. The car flips 2, now 3 times.
Oh, trouble!
Elliott Sadler over once and a half.
Oh, trouble. Steve Clark is off into the infield. Terrible crash.
I'm a loner. I'm the only. I'm the blister and night. I'm the layman. I'm the wasted. And now I'm stronger.
NASCAR Thrills from NASCAR Images. It's a mix of speed, of thrills, and unforgettable images from throughout NASCAR's amazing 6-decade ride.
It's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr.
NASCAR Thrills also goes beyond the racetrack to see how NASCAR and its teams pour as much effort into safety development as they do into the races themselves. So come along for the ride, the memories, the evolution, and get thrilled in 5.1 surround sound. It's NASCAR Thrills from NASCAR Images on DVD.
For nearly 6 decades, no sport has enjoyed a more meteoric rise in popularity than NASCAR. Nearly every weekend, from Valentine's Day through Thanksgiving, hundreds of thousands of fans jam the grandstands across the United States, and millions more watch on television. The reason? They just may witness a special moment like this one.
Photo finishes.
Getting physical here at Darlington Raceway like it's supposed to be. Craven has another shot, but only one. The white flag out. This time, Kurt Busch leads by inches back to turn 1.
The gloves are off. Craven is there into turn 1. Half a car length back. Busch drifts high. Craven unable to make a move. Then remains single file. Craven down to the inside.
Here they come off turn 2, racing for the lead and the win. The crowd on the back straightaway is just going delirious. Busch, Craven, nose to tail. Here comes Craven up top. Busch goes up the block. Here comes Craven down to the bottom, trying to hang on. Both cars are loose in 4. He's got him this time. It's going to be a drag race. Wow! They touch. Craven got him. Craven got him. All right. What a finish.
The goal for every NASCAR driver is simple: to make it to this line before anyone else does. Now, some races are won by several car lengths, others are won by several feet. But when Ricky Craven outdueled Kurt Busch at Darlington in 2003, the difference was measured by several digits to the right of the decimal point.
Catching them's one thing, passing them is another.
Come on, baby, come on. Side by side, 2 laps to go. Somebody's got to give, getting into turn 1.
The pressure was on.
Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch side by side. They bump.
2 laps ago, it was about one more opportunity.
Busch brushes the wall.
He bumped me hard enough to slide
up into the fence. I hit the fence, he hit me.
They bounce off each other.
If we added one little extra element, we both would have spun.
Craven has the lead. Busch bumps him.
One of those situations where maybe I can make my car as wide as I can for a couple laps and see what happens.
Craven to the outside and Busch back underneath, regains the top spot.
Now here comes Ricky Craven trying to regain that lost ground. Busch back to the lead on the back straightaway.
Bumped him back to repay him for the bump he gave me, and now I was back in the lead.
Ricky Craven in hot pursuit, pedal to the metal, and Dave Blaney joins this battle. Here's Busch, 2 car lengths out in front. Here comes Craven again, using the high lane on the move in 4.
Play to my strength, which at that time the Tide car was so good off of turn 4.
Getting physical here at Darlington Raceway like it's supposed to be. Craven has another shot, but only one.
We both knew we were going to engage in a battle of who's going to be able to win this thing.
Craven pours all the steam, pulls to the inside lane. They are dead even coming down to the line. This is going to be close. They lean on one another. Across the line, Ricky Craven gets the win, and they continue the crash headed up into turn 1.
The adrenaline was flowing, just the pumped feeling that you get of having it all on your shoulders at the end of a race, the pressure, and being able to perform.
It was the equivalent of the last second shot in basketball. It was the equivalent of sticking the ball in the end zone.
That's what any driver wants, and that's what any kid dreams about, is being in position, let's say the bottom of the 9th, or catching that football in the end zone, getting both feet in bounds and scoring a winning touchdown.
It's all about hitting it out. It's all about hitting it out. I'm not interested in a base hit. I'm not interested in a double. I'm swinging for the fence. That race represents something really special.
Sorry, we got wrecked race cars.
Too bad somebody's got to lose that thing.
That's the way it goes. That was a lot of fun. I'm sorry that we got wrecked race cars. I had no power steering.
Just keep reading. Really?
Yeah, it was gone.
I really didn't think I had a shot. It came off the turn 4, and you got some wheel spin. I got it back next to it.
Yeah, it's opened up.
Yeah, thank you.
No, we raced each other way it's supposed to.
It was awesome.
2 years earlier, rookie Kevin Harvick came to Atlanta, making just his 3rd career NASCAR Cup start. Jeff Gordon was making his 259th start. After 499 miles of racing, they found themselves in the same place at the same time.
Gordon's going to make the big move on the inside when they get down here to turn 3. Slow car might be in the way. Here he comes. He's going to drive it to the bottom.
Oh, Harvick's leaving a lot of bottom.
The slow car is going to be in the way. Just like a year ago, he's going to get him, though. Here they come. Get him. Gordon got loose. It's Harvick. Harvick by inches. Harvick by inches. Harvick by inches. What a race. What a finish.
Harvick beat Gordon by 0.06 of a second. At Talladega in 1993, the margin was even closer.
This is the battle for the lead on the very last lap.
Jarrett falls in behind Irvin, and Kyle Petty falls in line behind Earnhardt. Jarrett falls off of Irvin. It's Earnhardt and Irvin coming up on lap traffic. It's a dead heat at the end of the back straightaway.
Ernie Irvin to the bottom of the racetrack. Now it thins out to 2 by 2. It's Irvin to the inside. Up high is Dale Earnhardt. Lap traffic ahead. Ernie Irvin with maybe a foot on Dale Earnhardt off the corner. Side by side for the lead of the diehard 500.
Here comes Mark Martin. He'll try and tuck in right behind Ernie Irvin, but it's going to be Irvin and Earnhardt settling it. Irvin goes to the low side of the racetrack. Earnhardt force high. Here they come to the stripe. It's going to be a dead heat at the line. Earnhardt by about 2 inches. It looked as though Earnhardt by about 1.5 inches or 2, if that much.
Earnhardt's win over Ernie Irvin was less than 5/1000ths of a second, a tick quicker than Harvick's win over Gordon. Well, actually less than a tick. Now, how does NASCAR make such microscopic measurements? With radio transponders that record the very instant a driver crosses the start-finish line. NASCAR has been using electronic timing and scoring since 1993. And come to think of it, it would have been nice if NASCAR would have had those transponders back in February of 1959. It took 3 days for NASCAR to find a photograph good enough to declare Lee Petty the winner. Only 2 of the 3 cars in this picture were actually fighting for the win in 1959. 44 years later, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series did one car make that truck better.
up on top. Dennis sets around the outside of Bobby Hamilton.
Here they come out of Ford. Presley dodging to the high side. Crawford goes down low. He tries to hit the pass as they're coming to the line. It's Rick Crawford making the pass, and Crawford wins the Daytona 250.
That's what I'm talking about. Truck racing.
Last lap mayhem.
For hours each race, a crew chief constantly reminds his driver, relax, be patient, take it easy. And even when the white flag waves, well, it ain't over till it's over. And if they need further proof, all they have to do is tell the story of the 1990 Daytona 500, when the driver running second was suddenly first.
Half a lap to go.
Four-car shootout to decide it all. Dale Earnhardt.
Here comes Cope down on the inside. Earnhardt has problems.
Swapping back. Something is amiss. And on the outside, it is car number 10, Derek Cope. Something amiss on the Earnhardt car. Coming to the line. And an amazing finish. The Whitcomb Racing Team has won it.
Unbelievable.
I was riding his back bumper, and Labonte got me pretty loose at that time. And down the back straightaway, we lost a little bit of ground. I knew I'd be back to him by the time I got start-finish line, but not really probably in a position to get him. And all of a sudden, you just started seeing, you know, things come off the car and the tires starting to elongate. And we drove off into 3, and his car turned sideways, and he just drove right. I just drove right to him. I thought we were going to wreck, really, and then he just left the scene.
We run over some debris and cut a right rear tire down, David. Just a quarter of a lap away from victory. Not much you can do about it.
To win the Daytona 500, you know, it takes one of those elements right out of the equation that you really set goals that you set for yourself. What it does is it just sets you apart from a lot of people, and you know, you become a part of the sport. You get chills in the back of your neck. They're life-changing experiences.
History repeated itself at the Homestead Miami Speedway in 2003. A not-so-awesome fact for awesome Bill Elliott.
So it looks like Bobby Labonte's going to come up with a runner-up finish today, pending this final lap. What about this Bill Elliott? Long dry spell ended last Sunday at Rockingham. He won at Indianapolis in August of 2002, and it was about a year and 3 months before he pulled off the win at the Rock last weekend. Now he's going to make it 2 in a row to bring down the 2003 season.
Oh, look at that. Is he on the flat? On the last lap, he must have a flat tire.
Bobby Labonte's by. Can you believe that? Elliott is off the pace. Never give up.
Watch out, Bill.
Fatback McSwain is going to get to do a victory dance for us. Last lap drama at Homestead. Bobby Labonte wins the Ford 400.
It's never over till it's over. I'm telling you, unbelievable.
And when it comes to watching the flag stand, it's always a good idea for a driver to make absolutely sure that the flag he's looking at is black and white, not just white. In 1994, Mark Martin was leading a NASCAR Busch Series race at Bristol when the caution came out with 5 laps to go. As Martin paced the field under yellow, he did what all winners do, almost. He waved to his adoring fans, accepted the congratulations of competitors, then lost count of the number of laps run, heading to victory lane 100 yards shy of the finish line and handing the win to David Green.
I can't believe anybody else would be that stupid. That's the stupidest thing I ever done. There's nothing else I can say. I thought the race was over. Those guys pulled up beside of me waving, and I swear I thought I saw Houston come down pit road. I thought it was over.
The ultimate moment in NASCAR racing comes when 2 drivers are door-to-door battling for the lead. The flagman has this in his hand, poised to unfurl it across just one driver's hood. It's the supreme racing showdown, man versus man and car versus car. Hang on, because everything goes and anything can happen.
Gordon's on his bumper. Gordon's going to try to dive to the inside. He makes contact, gets Rusty up out of the groove. Gordon goes by and goes into the lead.
Here comes Gordon down to the checkered flag, and Jeff Gordon is going to win the Food City 500.
side by side as they exit the bank and head for the finish line. Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall. Petty is sliding, slamming in the wall. He's coming down toward the finish line. Will he make it? He's still moving. The car stops 300, 400 feet shy of the finish line. Pearson is still running. Here's Petty trying to fire to come across the line. David Pearson moving down through as they come to the stripe. The winner is car number 21.
Trying to take it home. It's all come down to this. Out of turn 2, Donnie Allison in first. Where will Cale make his move? He comes to the inside. Donnie Allison throws the block. Cale hits him. He slides. Donnie Allison slides. They hit again. They drive into the turn. They're hitting the wall. They're head on the wall. They slide down to the inside. Let's watch those third place cars. They're out of it. Who is going to win it? Coming down, Richard Petty is now pulling out in front. Darrell Waltrip is in second. A.J. Boyd is in third. Here they come. Waltrip trying to slingshot. Petty is out in front at the line. Waltrip to the inside. Petty wins it. And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. The tempers overflowing. They're angry. They know they have lost. And what a bitter defeat.
The Bristol Motor Speedway, Thunder Valley, has long been the site of some of NASCAR's greatest last-lap duels. On a steamy August night in 1995, two of NASCAR's greatest champions blew off a little steam of their own.
Burton moves out of the inside of Mike Wallace, trying to make the move. He'll fall back in line, single file. Now Earnhardt is within 3 car lengths of Terry Labonte. Last time into turn number 3, and Labonte now deals with the traffic.
Lap 499 on the board. Here they come to the stripe. White flag in traffic. Labonte gets crossed up. Labonte goes around. Dale Earnhardt now watches, but across the line, I believe Labonte spun across the line and got the win.
Dale had fresher tires than we did, and he was gaining on us pretty good. We were coming down at the end, and just as luck would have it, I caught some traffic, right at the end. That they were racing each other for a position. I think they were on the tail end of the lead lap, and so they were really, were caught up in that and didn't see what was fixing to happen behind them. And I passed one of the cars, and about the same time I was trying to pass him, Earnhardt got the back of me. We're coming to the finish line, and so I never let off because I knew I was going to beat him to the finish line if I stayed in the gas, but I didn't know where I was going to land after that. So I thought, I'm going to worry about that after I cross the line, and sure enough, I got in the wall and tore up the car. But it made for an exciting finish.
As the white flag comes out, 1 lap to go.
Like Labonte and Earnhardt, NASCAR's greatest drivers have always stepped to the plate to provide us with the sport's most adrenalized moments.
Well, you can see it happening right before you. They're coming to turn 3. 2 more turns to go. Richard Petty still side by side. Donnie Allison still hanging in third. Oh! Petty has got to leave it. There comes Walter down below him as Petty stood up high. Donnie Allison trying to move past Petty into second place. They're coming to the finish line. It is Darrell Waltrip winning the Rebel 500.
Baker, high side, Waltrip down to the bottom. Allison's got the lead. He owns the racetrack out of the tri-oval, and as they head out of that 18-degree banking into the checkered flag, it is Allison by a car length.
Hard hits.
Have you ever had to get up in the middle of the night only to wind up stumbling in the dark and smacking into the wall? I hate that. Well, now imagine stumbling into that same wall at 170 miles per hour.
Right.
Junior, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right.
I just knocked the breath out of him, I guess.
During the past 5 years, there has been no greater safety innovation than the development of the so-called soft walls, such as the safer barriers installed here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway in Charlotte. Upon impact, the walls give, removing violent energy from the race car and, more importantly, from the driver. It's a system that has revolutionized racing safety and an invention that is greatly appreciated by the drivers who have endured hard hits over the years.
Coming turn two, a couple of cars hard into the outside wall, one of them upside down. Kenny Wallace is one of the machines, the other impossible to tell. Heavy flame and smoke as they slide down the back straightaway.
Problems for Ward Burke. He spins out of control, collects Kyle Petty.
Kyle Petty's crash at Bristol measured 80 Gs, or 80 times the force of gravity. How do we know this? This crash data recorder, also known as a black box. Engineers here at the NASCAR R&D Center are using this device and the data that it records to help diminish the force of accidents in the future. In 1990, black boxes hadn't yet been invented. A good thing, because Michael Waltrip's Busch Series wreck at Bristol may have put up numbers too scary to believe.
I remember it hitting, and then I remember I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe, and I must have passed out because I didn't get knocked out because it didn't really hit my head. Next thing I remember is coming to and being a lot of people around. The cars are just extremely safe. NASCAR does a good job getting the medical crews to you, and no matter what you do, you've always got the good Lord looking over you. And He gave me talent to do this, and I think He worked a miracle in front of 35,000 people yesterday, and you know, I feel great to be sitting here.
Amazingly, Michael Waltrip was not hurt in any way during that accident. How? Well, his seat had a lot to do with it. Now, this isn't your standard bucket seat from the showroom. It's a constantly redesigned piece of engineering, a cocoon of metal and carbon fiber, and a driver's last line of defense against injury in an accident.
Oh my God, was that a hard hit.
Oh my Lord.
Derek Cole.
Real hard hit.
Goodness
That
gracious.
thing took off early.
I remember, you know, going off into turn one at Richmond, which you drive all the way in the corner a long ways there. The throttle stuck, and I went straight up in the wall. But you know, speed's relative. Your body adapts to going very, very fast, and it slows things down. So you have a lot of time to look, think, reflect, and figure out things. I remember trying to hook my foot under the throttle. I remember going for the button on the steering wheel, but it was a new car from somebody else, and they were in a different spot. And so I missed on all those counts. And at that point, it was inevitable I was going to hit the fence and hit it hard. And I just leaned into the headrest and took the shot. The whole thought at that point is getting back in the race car as quickly as possible, and I know that's kind of warped, but that's what you think.
As a result of its safety research, NASCAR has also mandated the use of these devices, the Hans, or head and neck restraint, and the Hutchins device, designed by Richard Childress racing engineer Bobby Hutchins. Both devices attach to the driver's helmet to help hold the head steady in an accident and avoid head and neck injuries. Seat design, soft walls, head restraints, and information gathered by crash data recorders all combine to make NASCAR safer with each and every race that is run, no matter how hard the hits.
Wild rides.
At speeds approaching 200 miles per hour, race cars want to do what any aerodynamic shape should want to do, fly. But thanks to safety innovations and phenomenal driver instincts, it doesn't happen very often. When it does, the results are spectacular. Even more spectacular, drivers typically walk away under their own power, rattled but unhurt.
Two cars into the wall in the middle of the field. Ken Schrader is one of them. Another over on its roof is Ryan Newman in the tri-oval grass. The car flips now three times and comes to rest on its roof just off the front stretch in the tri-oval grass.
Trouble behind Rusty Wallace is turning over.
Rusty Wallace 20 feet in the air, spinning, crashing.
At Talladega, an easy Sunday drive can turn sideways in the blink of an eye, like Neil Bonnet's ride back in 1993.
Wow, that's the kind of lick that Neil didn't want to take, but look at him, he's crawling out of it. That's good news. All right.
Neil Bonnet, okay. Oh, trouble! Ricky Rudd slamming toward the wall. Crashing, rolling over.
Running in a tight little pack, there wasn't a lot of cars in that race. It was like 12 cars. And I remember the guy behind me, Jody Ridley at the time, coming out of turn 4, barely nudged in the back of hit me in the back bumper, barely nudged me, but it did, it broke my car loose. And when it did, it started sliding to the infield. About that time, it got airborne. The car went up, everything got really quiet. It went up pretty high in the air. I remember being way up in the air. After that, when it came down and hit, if you'd asked me what happened, I'd say, well, I came back down, hit the ground. It knocked the wind out of me because I remember hearing all the air leave my body, just like you do when you listen to the NFL game tapes when the guys hit each other and you hear the wind get knocked out of somebody. I heard that. The next thing I remember, I'm waking up and the car is upright and they're basically working to get me out of the car. I remember that and didn't remember anything else. I mean, it just like, I guess I went to sleep during that time and probably glad I did because I didn't have any bad memories of it other than the aches and pains that hung around for quite a while.
Trouble! Steve Park is off into the infield. The car ball over on his lid. It's Parkindale Jr. Terrible crash.
It's hard to ask 43 human beings to be perfect for 3.5 hours, running 3 wide at 190 miles an hour.
Oh, trouble! Elliott Sadler over 1.5 and on his roof. Now the car tumbling hard onto the pavement in turn 3. Caution is out. A terrible crash.
Everything happened so fast. I remember the 24 pushing me, and we had one heck of a run coming up through the middle. And we were coming in the backstretch, and we were in the middle, which usually gets a lot of the draft. The 15 was leading, the 8 was on the outside line, and the 97 was on the inside, but the 24 was pushing me so fast. We were going to be running so fast by the time we got to the middle of turn 3 and 4 that I was watching the 15 trying to decide what side of him I was going to pass him for the lead on. I wasn't even, everybody else was pretty much zoned out. And by the time we got to turn 3, I guess Dale Jr. spotter told him the 38's coming or whatever, and he just hung a hard left. And I had to make a reaction. One, either hit him and spin him out in front of the whole field, or 2, try to go under him. And at the same time, I turned left to go under him. The 97 was trying to suck air off of me too, and it just caused a big wreck. And I felt sorry for Kurt Busch, but I just had nowhere to go and no decision to be made, and just tore up a really good race car. But yeah, I've learned from that. I don't really know next time if I need to react or not, or just hit the person that does in front of me and take my chances, because the barrel roll was not that much fun.
Gary Nelson is the Managing Director of Research and Development for NASCAR, and we're inside NASCAR's 61,000 square foot R&D center here in Concord, North Carolina. And Gary, thanks for having us. This is a facility that race fans don't really get to see much about, so we appreciate the opportunity to go on a little tour.
Well, we're very excited that you're here, and we're always happy to show the fans and anybody in the sport what goes on inside this building, because it's so new to racing. What is an R&D center, and what do you guys do on a daily basis? Well, this is really the inner area of the building. This is where all the fabrication takes place. All the nuts and bolts are in here. What we want to do is provide the driver with more space, but not dramatically change the aerodynamics of the car. And that's a pretty tough job. We have to really understand what the aerodynamic signature of the current car is, apply the bigger greenhouse, which gives the driver more space for safety, and not upset the balance and change the handling of the car, where what you really want is the same aerodynamic signature with a bigger body, and it's very difficult to do.
What would you say your mission statement is?
I think it's three parts: safety, competition on the track, and cost to the car owner. And if every question we get, if it's, how do you like this steering wheel? How do you like this seat? If we ask, how does it affect safety? How does it affect competition? And how does it affect cost? If we can get positive answers from those questions, then we have a pretty good thing.
Racing inherently can be a dangerous sport by its very nature, but it seems like an exciting time for the safety elements to be embraced the way they are.
Well, safety is, and I had to sit down and really think about it to try to understand it, because when I was a crew chief, you got the race results, and that's your report card. How did you do? Well, where did you finish? And when you think about politicians, their voters tell them how they're doing. When you think about a business, the bottom line tells you how you're doing in a business. Well, in safety, there's no clear-cut report card that you can get that says you're doing this good. You can never say this guy's better off because of the improvements that we've done here or somebody else has done somewhere. You can only say that you think the sport is better off, but you can never actually, no two accidents are the same, no two people are the same. So one may be injured where another may not be in the same exact type of accident. So you always just try to do the best you can, and you feel good about it, but you never really have that report card. And that's a difficult thing to adjust to.
I recently read an interview you did where you talked about the idea or the concept of safety and are we state of the art? Are we cutting edge? And you very articulately said, we don't know what state of the art is as it exists today. We're just trying to stay ahead, essentially.
Yeah, it's so, to me, it's so exciting to see technology and you know, the old better mousetrap analogy that you know, many people for many centuries have tried to build mousetraps, and there's always somebody that invents one that might be better. Well, but when you think about it, state of the art is what is this moment good? Well, what's going to be good tomorrow? There may be an invention that changes everything. So think about a typewriter that was commonplace years ago. I mean, when I went to school, I took typing. Today, my kids go to school, they take keyboards. So it's changed. Processors, computers have changed things. Well, it's not going to stop. There's going to be more things tomorrow and the next day, and we just have to stay on top of that wave and make sure we don't ever just kick back and say, well, we've solved that problem.
What are you most proud of since this facility opened? And it hasn't been open that long. What are you proudest of?
I think I'm most proud of the process that we've got in place here, the resources that NASCAR has given us, the staff that we have. There are a lot of young folks and some experienced folks mixed together. The process now is in place to find solutions quickly to problems. And to me, that is the most exciting thing, to see it go from an idea to a reality in really just a short period of time, and now see the results.
The big one.
Trouble as Allison shreds the right rear tire. The car gets up in the air and crashes down onto the asphalt right at the start-finish line.
Prior to Allison's wreck in 1987, cars raced at unrestricted speeds of over 200 miles per hour at Daytona and Talladega. But Allison's wreck was proof that stock car racing needed to slow down. The answer? This. A carburetor restrictor plate that's placed over the intake manifold, limiting the amount of air that gets into the carburetor and cutting horsepower. Safer racing was the result, but a new challenge. More cars were running in bigger packs, nose to tail and side by side, giving birth to the big one.
Trouble, Stewart in the wall.
Here we go. Here we go.
Robbie Gordonson at the 33. Harvick is around.
Here we go, guys.
The big one.
It isn't every lap, you know, totally, oh my gosh, something's going to happen. It's more that you're waiting for something to happen.
I think you expect it to happen, you know, and it surprises you if you run a race and it doesn't.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall number 20.
The wreck happened off turn 2, and getting hit 3 or 4 times, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden his car's up in the air floating. And I was probably running 26, 28, something like that. And lo and behold, lands right on top of my hood. I was like, how in the world can this happen? You know what I mean? That just doesn't seem right. But, it's just that bumblebee thing that you're in a pack of cars and you just can't slow down. And, if you do slow down, you're probably going to get hit because it's hard for the guy behind you to see what's happening.
Being 3 wide isn't really all that much, stuff going on. But when something does happen, there's nothing you can do.
Trouble, turn 1, hard a car in the wall, and spinning down to the bottom. There's going to be 10 or more cars involved.
You are just kind of stuck in the pack, hoping you don't get in the wreck. And so really, all the anxiety and all the tension isn't about what's going on the racetrack right then and there. It's what might go on the next lap.
When you're behind it, you see the smoke and you just have no idea which lane to go through.
There's nowhere to go.
There are times when a driver, sees enough to make a move before the wreck happens, but once the wreck happens, where are you gonna go? You got everybody around you, somebody runs over you from the back, you run over the guy in front of you.
One of the most amazing rides that any driver has ever taken during the big one happened right here when Ricky Craven visited all 6 stories of Talladega's turns in the number 41 Chevy.
Trouble in turn number 1. Mark spins out of control. The whole pack is involved. Cars tumbling through the air. Over on twisting around and hit again as it comes back to the bottom of the racetrack in the corner. A savage crash in turn 1. Several cars involved.
I remember waking up in Birmingham Hospital, and they had a small TV in the room, and I saw a clip of the wreck. And I said to my wife, boy, I feel sorry for that son of a gun. I had no idea how bad it was. I had no idea how ugly it looked. I actually hit the wall upside down, and it hurt. And I thought, man, it got really quiet, and I thought, well, that was bad, but at least it's over. What I didn't realize was at the time I was in the air, and then it just started, And once I got caught up in the fence, it sort of got ugly.
Pit road intensity.
It's amazing how brave and how fast our pit crew guys are.
It's almost like a squad in the military. When something's happening, they all work as one. They all know what to do. It's unwritten. They're trained to do a certain thing.
They give 120%. A lot of them I've seen injured, broken fingers, bad knees, and they put on those knee pads, they go over the wall, and they'll drop those knees to the ground. I don't know how they do it.
They're agile athletes where they jump over a wall. They're carrying an 80-pound tire with them. They've got the air gun. One guy's got the jack. The 2 guys in the back are dealing with the gas. It's very flammable, and they can't spill a lot. There's each element within a pit stop has so much talent involved with it.
It's as much chance to get in trouble in the pits as it is on a racetrack.
Oh, trouble on the pit road, my goodness. Ward Burton has gone through Ricky Rudd's pit crew.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness gracious.
I remember what happened that morning. I even remember running to the Ingersoll truck to pick something up for my gun, and the national anthem was playing. I remember we was running real well that day. We come in on lap 111, 115, something like that, and we was sticking a spring rubber in the right front. Then all of a sudden it went blank. You have to have no fear. I mean, if you're scared, you're going to get hurt, or you will get somebody else hurt. I mean, you just have to have the heart and soul and the desire to go do this, because it's not an easy job.
Burrell not only came back, but eventually went to work for the very driver that knocked him down, Ward Burton.
Like I said, life's a full circle, and here it is. You know, Ward's my driver. I'm his engineer and front tire changer. I think it's great. A lot of people look at Ward and myself, and they're like, what's up with that? Because when you see us, we're always talking about hunting, fishing, racing, life, whatever. It's just like most drivers and their crew members, you know. It's their family away from their family, and they would do anything in the world for them.
Bobby Burrell's accident led to the development of this: helmets for every pit crew member that goes over the wall on race day. Now, during a NASCAR race, there's no more intense place to be than on pit road. More happens here in 13 seconds than can happen in 13 laps on the racetrack. And every pit crew member must be as alert as the driver they work for.
Jeff Gordon and Michael Waltrip tangling.
Sorry, I had no idea that 15 car was coming in there.
And he's down the lane. Oh, he hits the 43. Our crewman's down. Whoa, Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch get together. He gets one of the crew members.
Think about how many people are on pit road at any given stop. You know, there's 7 people on every race team. That's a lot of people on pit road, and there's a lot of cars coming down pit road, and competition is so tough today that you can't come down pit road just going down there slow, waiting to make your pit stop. You got to get to your pits hard, you got to leave hard, you got to be going.
I think it can be very dangerous, but I think NASCAR's done a really good job with the pit road speed limits, not being able to pull into your pit before 3 stalls ahead of your spot.
Despite the challenges of staying safe, pit crews remain focused on their individual jobs. With the competition getting tighter and tighter, one small mistake on pit road can take a driver from contender to pretender. Every inch and every second counts.
He's got to back up. He's got to back up the car. This is going to be costly for Jimmy Johnson.
On pit road, a tire has rolled out.
He left his pit box with equipment, which means he had to come back in.
Looks like he's pitted outside of his pit box just ever so slightly. The right front tire, penalty on Tony Stewart, and it's going to cost him being on the lead lap and being the leader. So Tony Stewart held on pit road.
Bump and grind.
500 laps of, you know, just close racing.
You're on a short track, you know, you drive the thing like this.
You're on the gas, off the gas, spin the tires, pushing loose.
It's okay to rub.
There's a lot of unwritten rules that go on, kind of a code between drivers.
There's an old saying, rubbing's racing.
Oh, no, just putting us in the wall.
You know when you get bumped and somebody does it intentionally.
The line is crossed when you know that there was something intentional done that really hurt your effort.
Well, I think the driver knows when he's crossing the line. If he's just trying to pay somebody back.
There's cheap shots and there's hard racing. There is a difference in it.
Most of these things that happen don't happen because you're trying to wreck the guy. They happen because you're trying to drive your car as fast as you can.
Oh, trouble! Johnson spinning to the inside.
That's what racing's about.
Contact. Tony Stewart and the 2 of Rusty Wallace.
Coming down the back straight with his finger out the window and just give me the bird all the way down the straightaway after he run me through the fence. He's messing with the wrong guy with that mouth right now.
It's tough to keep your emotions in check.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ward Burton were racing for 12th spot. Now Ward's in the wall. All right, is this a knuckle curve or a fastball?
You're driving down the interstate and the guy in front of you is going way too slow. Now, wouldn't it be great if it were legal to just punt him out of the way while you cruise on down the highway? Well, in NASCAR, it's not only legal, it's a way of life. A maneuver known as the bump and run, where a driver nudges the competition and goes on by, all the while conscious that no one gets hurt. In other words, don't try this at home.
Here comes Gordon right up to the bumper again. The bump and run.
There it is.
Gordon underneath to the lead. 2 laps to go. The bump and run is going to get Jeff Gordon the checkered flag at the end of the winless streak. Gordon wins the Sharpie 500 at Bristol.
He got bottled up in some traffic, and I knew if I could get to him, you know, I could make a move, and he got real loose, shut the door on me, and once he shut the door on me, I said, all right, you know, fair game right there. So, you know, I got into him a little bit. He got loose, and I hope he'll understand tomorrow.
He got nailed in the rear end in the last lap and turned sideways. I didn't expect it. He just got to me where he could hit me. I was trying desperately to knock the out of him. I just couldn't catch him.
Sauter giving it all he's got. Matt Kenseth trying to block him. Kenseth slides wide off turn 2. Here again, Sauter looks low. Sauter's on the back bumper. Sauter drives deep, looking for the win at Richmond.
Gives him plenty of racing room. Now he makes contact. Sauter gets into the back of Matt Kenseth. Johnny Sauter's going to win the Funine 250. Kevin Harvick finishes in second. But we said there would be fireworks down to the finish. Indeed, that's what we had as Johnny Sauter tagged Matt Kenseth. Matt pulls alongside over in turn 3 to say hello.
How you feel about the bump and run is a matter of perspective. For the guy from behind, it seems like the right thing to do. But for the driver getting bumped, he rarely agrees. And sometimes the bumpy takes the time to express that opinion after the fact.
Loose, and crashed.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yep. Angry drivers, we've got some tonight. He walked across the top of the 21, and now it's on.
If he's going to, you know, take a cheap shot, he's going to get one back, I promise you that.
Ricky, what was the contact with Kevin about?
I don't know. Kevin had trouble on the restart. He couldn't get going or something. Anyway, went down turn 1. I guess he just put on the brakes a little harder than he had been, and I got in the back of him. I mean, my fault, but it wasn't on purpose. It was an accident.
What did he say to you when he climbed out of the car?
I couldn't hear him. He's, you know, got that little yap mouth. I couldn't tell what he was saying.
The key to keeping your cool, they say, is not to take it personal, which in NASCAR is easier said than done.
Now Elliott goes after Earnhardt as they come out of turn 4. Earnhardt is using every inch of racetrack, and Elliott gets together with him. Earnhardt goes off in the grass, brings the car back onto the speedway, and keeps it in a straight line and holds on to the lead. Unbelievable. The third running of the Winston, it's Earnhardt.
Well, that was something else. You know, Bill spun that 95 car out and caused a big mess, and then he come up there and tried to spin me out twice. I didn't take it.
It's time for this to stop. You know, the thing of it is I have been not the aggressive driver all my life. You know, I've tried to give and take with the best of the things. But when a guy cuts you off that bad and that obvious, it's time to take the other cheek. You know, the thing of it is you go out and you run as hard as you can all day long, and then him trying to cut you out to outrun it, that ain't the way I was brought up racing.
Victory Lane.
Of course, the goal of all this semi-controlled chaos is to stand in the hallowed ground of Victory Lane. After all the laps of practice and testing, all the long nights spent back at the race shop preparing, and of course the days when the driver's day ends wrecked, standing in Victory Lane makes it all worthwhile.
Out of turn 4, after 17 years of effort, the Daytona 500 belongs to Franklin, Tennessee's Darrell Waltrip. He's done it.
I won the Daytona 500. I won the Daytona 500.
Darrell, how long?
Wait. This is the Daytona 500, isn't it? Don't tell me it isn't. Thank God.
Two-time Winston Cup champion Terry Labonte at age 46 will take the checkered flag and win the 54th Southern 500.
It's a great feeling. You know, you've beaten the best that day.
We have one winner and 42 losers every single week.
it feels like nothing else that you've ever done in your life before.
That's your goal, is obviously to beat the other 42 drivers that day. And if you can do that, I mean, it's obviously the joy of the world.
You want to enjoy it because you beat all those guys. You beat the guys you respect. You beat the guys that are really good, the best at what they do. But you know they're coming at you next week.
I've never understood why we get these little rinky-dinky trophies. I won a race at Darlington one time and got a trophy that looked like a flower base. And it actually broke in Victory Lane. I'm sitting there trying to hold this silly thing. They ought to give you a damn trophy 10 foot tall, because that's how big a deal it is.
Now in his 8th try at the Great American Race, it's going to be Ward Burton driving his Dodge to Victory Lane. Checkered flag is up, and Ward Burton is going to win the 44th Daytona 500. Here they come, turn 4, final lap of the Pepsi 400. Michael Waltrip in second, but it's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. using lessons learned from his father to go from 6th to 1st and score the victory in the Pepsi 400.
That's unbelievable.
Storybook ending. Oh, this is great.
Over nearly 6 decades of NASCAR, nearly 250 different drivers have visited Victory Lane, meaning nearly 250 totally unique styles of celebration. From the mild to the wild, to the just plain weird.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
He's already did it once. It doesn't matter now. Michael Waltrip picks up another win. Congratulations, Michael.
Woo! Once you do get to Victory Lane, the time is yours and yours alone. What you choose to do with that time is entirely up to you.
My family was all here, Mom and Daddy and Connie and David and my girlfriend Buffy, who I'm fixing to ask to marry me one of these days. Maybe even today. Will you marry me?
Yes! Hey, were you serious, Michael?
Yeah.
You were?
I got your ring in the truck. I just didn't know when to give it to her. I never did it before, so I didn't know how to do it.
Buffy, what about that?
Hey! Do you accept?
In the end of all this action and all its craziness is the goal of being the fastest car on the racetrack, that NASCAR adrenaline rush. And while the teams keep getting quicker, NASCAR works behind the scenes to make them safer. It's the ultimate race on and off the track, and they keep getting faster. We hope you've enjoyed riding along during this edition of the NASCAR Ultimate DVD Collection. From the track to pit road to the race shop and beyond, there is no better way for fans to experience the behind-the-scenes thrills of America's #1 motorsport. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in future editions to the NASCAR Ultimate DVD Collection.
forget this. You